Hello, welcome to a new video. A couple of weeks ago I shared with you the junk journal that I created for Junk Journal July, which is a journal challenge hosted by Meg Journals, and I'll pop a link down below in my video description. There are 31 prompts in total, so one for each day of July, but I was planning originally on picking and choosing the prompts to use in my new journal. I didn't plan the pages or the signatures, but when I counted them out there was the perfect amount, so I decided that I'm going to create a spread for each prompt, and I've started working through them, and so you'll see prompts 1 to 3 in this video today. And yes, it's almost the end of July, so technically I am behind, but I'm really not worried about that. I've never used prompts to journal from before, and I've not created in a journal that already has so much on the pages already that's sort of been pre-made, so I'm just seeing it as a really fun challenge for me. So I've got a little pink crate that I've sorted out a few supplies into. I think I'll keep topping this up with more scraps and little bits from my big journaling stash as I go through this book, but it's really helped to narrow it down for me. I can sometimes get very distracted when I go through my stash, and so just sorting out a few supplies like this helps keep things more manageable. It also means I don't feel overwhelmed and the pages can come together a lot quicker. So like I said, I'm working on prompts 1 to 3 today, and each spread took between 15 and 25 minutes each. I'm using the prompts quite loosely in terms of the elements, but when I add my journaling, I'll be using those as my subject to journal about. I wanted to use stamps in this journals, which I don't usually do, so I'm using the small letter stamps to add the prompt onto each spread, and then using other ones throughout the pages. Now I'm doing the full month of prompts, I thought I should add a bit of an explanation for this journal, so I added that onto the first spread, and the prompt for that one is welcome. I really like the arrow piece of collage on here because it feels like a welcome in that I want you to keep going if you open this book, to keep going through and opening the pages. This page in between the first and second spread was an envelope, and I didn't want to cover it up too much. You'll see I'll come back to it later, but it's too small for a full prompt, so I decorated the left with an old clothing tag which I got from a Jules dress. I want the journal to be really tactile, and I really like the string of the tag that falls out on the edge of the page. Throughout this book I'm using the stamps I mentioned with a mix of the brown and sepia toned Memento ink. I'm also using stamps, like postage stamps, washi tape, small collage pieces like book pages and envelopes, small vellum pieces, and little ephemera scraps. I want the whole book to fit in with the pages that I made it from, so the theme is quite vintage. To go with the highlight prompt, I also added these gold glitter circle stickers, which I think works really well and is a little nod to the highlight prompt, but in a different way. And I grouped these around the 2 pages so it's clear it's part of one spread. I want to use this prompt as a highlight of my year so far rather than just a highlight of my day or of July, so I stamped the year with some larger letter stamps there onto the brown paper. I was originally going to add my highlights to that scrap of brown paper on the right hand page, but then I found a little vellum piece that said be happy, which just feels like such a good sort of resolution and highlight of what I want this year to be, so I popped that there instead. Now I filled the space with the vellum piece, I decided to make use of the envelope that the left hand page is made out of, and I'll add my personal journaling into there. The third prompt was Botanicals, which I absolutely love. I'm always really drawn to natural and floral pieces, so I knew I would enjoy this prompt. I found my flower press the other day, which is where the yellow rose petals I'd pressed and used on the first page came from as well. And I had this purple flower. I'm not sure what kind of flower it is or what it's called, but I wanted to use it on this page and add a pop of colour as well. It was really delicate when I got it out of the flower press, so I pasted on a layer of PVA glue just to keep it together and make it more sturdy. It definitely gives it a glossy sheen, so it's less natural, but I wanted to make sure it would survive in here. I just glued it down with Pritt Stick and it seems pretty secure. The washi tape I added on top of the stem at the bottom is mostly decorative because it's mostly anchored at the head of the flower, but the washi tape looks cute. I added on the fun little worm guy on the left. This page was quite flimsy because it's an old newspaper, so I just wanted to add some bits here that made it feel more sturdy as you turn the page. I also added pencil lines here on the left to add to the homemade feel, and I'll add my journaling here later. I used a thicker H&M brown tag and turned that one upside down, so again the little tag string adds more texture to the book, but it hangs out the bottom this time compared to the previous string that comes out the top. I added on a little tear out floral picture too that I got from a book from AliExpress, and I looked through my vellum book to find a floral piece and tested that in a few places around the page, but I like the collage look here. I added on some pink striped washi tape to add to the feminine feel of this spread as well. So I thought I was finished here, but as I was flicking back through the pages I've done, I thought that this middle spread in between prompts 1 and 2 looks unfinished and a bit empty. They were too small to be a full prompt, but I really liked the design of the envelope, so I didn't want to cover it up too much, but I did want something else on there as well. In the end, I used this photo I took at the beginning of the month that showed the light in our bedroom, and another rose petal which I got from my flower press, which helps tie it in with the other page. I really enjoyed working in this handmade journal and creating these spreads. It definitely felt like a bit of a challenge working on something already so visually interesting and trying to strike a balance with more collage. But I can't wait to do some more spreads and hopefully get used to it by the end of the journal and when it's all done. When I have finished it, I will show you the final book and how it's all come together in a flip through, probably in August. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you're following along with the Junk Journal July prompts, then let me know down below in the comments. Thanks again for being here on my channel. If you haven't already, then I'd love it if you subscribed, and I'll see you again next Sunday for a new video. See you later.